Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jen from Stardust Wanderer Tarot, and I'm coming to you today for our weekly reading and chit chat and all that fun stuff. But first, can we discuss the filter? If you haven't noticed that I love the filters, I love them, but I changed my background to like a galaxy background. And there's like the actual galaxies are in the galaxy background, so that's like really cool. So if anyone is there around, let me know. I'm gonna see if I can send it around there, see if anyone's around. They definitely like changed some of these like filters and stuff, so buttons around rather. So I'm still trying to figure out where everything goes because they like to like change it and everything. So if you're here, let me know. Let me know that you can hear me and all that good stuff, and take a moment to enjoy the filter that goes with my background amazingly. So there's that too. Hi, Just Jenny. Hi. All right. How's everyone doing today? It is kind of cold and windy and a little snowy outside, but I suppose I live in upstate New York and it's winter, so I guess I have to just deal with that, right? Hey, everyone. Hello. Just kind of giving everyone a minute to get on. Let me know you can hear me okay. That would be fantastic. And I was saying that my background I changed my background to like space, and then this filter just makes it 10 times more amazing. So I'm just going to sit here and stare at it the whole time. No, I'm kidding. I won't. I promise I won't. So what's going on? Where are we right now? Sagittarius season just started, so happy birthday to all the Sagittariuses out there, my fiery friends. We got the holidays coming up here in the US, very low-key holidays, but still. I don't know, have some of you already decorated for Christmas/Yule yet? I haven't done it. I'm waiting until after Thanksgiving. My kids, I don't know, they're teenagers. They're like, whatever. They just took down some of the Halloween stuff that I still had up because I try to leave it up for as long as possible, and they took it down. Bad. I told them, bad idea. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yes, actually, I have 4 boys. None of them are Sagittarius, though. So I have definitely a mix. I have my husband's a Gemini, and one of my sons is a Gemini. So that makes things quite interesting. Hi. Yeah, that makes things quite interesting. So they're fun. No, I love them. They're wonderful, but still. So anywho, why don't we, I think today we're going to go through the Tarotscope, just go through the signs and a card for each sign. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about self-care for each sign because, especially kind of going into, the holiday season and stuff like that, we tend to kind of put that to the wayside. Hey, Amber. Also, too, if you have questions or you want me to pull a card for you, go ahead and put the question in all caps so that I can see it. That would be fantastic. My name is Jen, and my business name is Stardust Wanderer Tarot. So, oh yes, Ancient Voices is Amber. Fantastic, Amber. All right, so the deck I grabbed today is the Modern Witch Tarot, which is a favorite. We all love this one. It's fantastic. And it's got a couple of bonus cards. The one bonus card I know is super popular. And I love this deck because I love inside the box. There's all pictures in it. And this card, see, and this card always like pops out at me too. And I love it because it says, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we'll get all that out of the way. Before I go ahead and shuffle. Oh, was it really? It was just like right. I don't know. I walked past it and it's like, hi. I'm like, all right, come on. It's your turn today. So first, let's just take our minute just to kind of center ourselves, kind of bring us right into this space right now. So go ahead and take your hand, put in your heart, one on your belly, and take a deep breath. Pull it all the way up to the top of your head. And when you let it out, bring it all the way down to the base of your spine. Just like a whoosh, just kind of doing a little chakra clearing. My words, I had gotten into a car accident a couple weeks ago, so my words are like a little mumbly, or a little jumbly rather. See, I really can talk, I promise. So, one more time. Just hold it there for a minute and let it go. Let's just take a minute. All right. Time to pull some cards. So do you guys do fake Christmas trees or real ones? We did real ones for the longest time. And we live on top of the mountain. And one year we brought it out after, the holidays were said and done. And we're like, oh, we'll just throw it in our outdoor fireplace. And that thing went up so fast, I went and got a fake one after that. But the fake one's kind of a pain, too, to put together because ours is pretty big. All right. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Here, I'll show you the picture. And you can get it pretty much anywhere, but I do love Liminal 11. I love to get, and they have a really cool tarot journal as well. And I just got that in the mail. Hi, Johnny. How's it going? Hello. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with Aries right at the beginning. What do we got for Aries today? The Knight of Wands. Just what you need, Aries, a little more action, right? So the Knight of Wands is a moving energy. So if you have plans, you always have plans. So whatever plan that is in your head, first off, go with it. It's time to take it and run. So you go ahead and you take that action, go do the things, keep it moving. I'm like trying to find where I want to put my card. All right, next we have Taurus. So the Taurus, we have here the Chariot reversed. So the Chariot is usually, kind of another moving energy, just kind of get things going, get things moving. And I think right now maybe you're feeling like you want to just kind of be. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. You just want to just be. And this card's telling you, yes, do that. You need to just kind of chill out for a couple days or this week. Since it's like a short week, I keep thinking that there's only 3 days, but there's more. So the next is the Hierophant. So that is for Geminis. So you Geminis, this week I want you to just really sit back and let people come to you for help. Don't go out seeking, don't go looking for trouble, for people that are super needy and stuff like that. They're going to come to you. They're going to come to you and they're going to need some guidance. So just sit back and help out those who come to you because they need it the most right now. Because if you're going out and just seeking that, they may not want that advice. And, Geminis like to express themselves, like to talk a lot. So some people don't always want to hear that. But there are a couple people that are going to be looking for that this week. Next, we have Cancer. So we have the Ten of Wands. So Cancer, you know what? You can't do everything this week, right? You need to take it easy. You need to delegate out some tasks. Usually the ones you don't love, those are the ones you want to give away. And, try not to do everything yourself. Try not to do all the things yourself this week. Next, we have Cancer. So the Cancer is Ace of Pentacles. So there's some new beginning here for you this week. What's different? What is going to be your new beginning? Are you going to start a new tradition? Are you going to try something new? So this week, it's just reminding you that, yeah, you know, whatever that new thing is, it's time to go ahead and do it. I feel like a lot of action this week, right? So we got another ace for our Leos. Leo, Ace of Swords. So Leo, this week you might have to speak up about a situation that somebody may be starting. So they may be wanting to try something or do something new, and it probably involves you, and you're probably not so keen on it. So this week, you know, don't be afraid to speak up and tell them how you feel about it. Next, we have Libra. I'm Libra. So Libra, we got Four of Pentacles. So, you know, here, Libras, it's just, you know what, just stay home, do your thing, and keep it simple. I feel like it's just keeping it simple and maybe practicing some self-care. I think that's super important for you this week. I feel like, you know, it's kind of funny because it has like the city in the background, you know, like there's just a lot of stuff going on and you need that balance. And this week it's time for you just to take it back, you know, take it down and not worry about, you know, everything else going on around you. Just kind of bring it in. That brings us to Scorpio. So Scorpio, we got the Three of Pentacles. So this is all about working together. And our Scorpios kind of like to do all the things like, don't worry, you know, I could do it, it's fine, because you want it done a certain way. And this week, again, this is another card telling you like, all right, it's time to work together. It's okay to work together. It's okay to let other people do the things they have to do around you. And, you know, it's funny because I saw, there's this post going around Facebook about like run the dishwasher twice. And it's basically like, it's not going to be, you know, whoever is doing it may not pack it the way you want them to, but they did it for you, you know? So I kind of almost feel like that popped in my head right away. Like, yeah, it may not be exactly the way you want it to be, but that's okay. Run the dishwasher twice, right? Now, that one brings us to our Sagittariuses. Nine of Swords. So this card is just... This is the card of the things that keep you up at night. So it's time to really... Oh, you're a double Scorpio. Oh, but you're so sweet. So, but it's okay. Run the dishwasher twice. I'm just going to keep saying that to you, Spira. Nine of Swords for our Sages. They need to... It's time to just put that down. It's time to just take that, whatever that is burdening you, and it's time to put it down. Stop carrying it around with you because it's not going to change. It's not going to do anything different, and it's just those crazy thoughts in your head. So it's time to just let it go. Like maybe meditate or, you know, write it down on some bay leaves and just burn it. Get rid of it, you know? Yes, tell him that he, you know, it's okay. Just let it go. Let it go. I won't sing. You don't want me to sing. My kids used to always say, Mommy, stop singing. But I like it. All right. Anywho, Capricorn. Capricorn, Two of Swords. So you have a decision to make this week, whether it be related to the holiday, related to going out shopping for Black Friday, if that's even a thing. I don't even know. I've never been a Black Friday person. I really just, you know, there's not anything that I need that bad to lose sleep over because I really like to sleep. So I usually don't do that. But, you know, and this is a decision that your overthinking is keeping you from making. So take your blindfold off and make that decision this week. And that brings us to Aquarius. So it's really funny because we're getting a lot of like, kind of like twos, a lot of knights, a lot of aces. So a lot of like beginning of things energies. So that's something to kind of think about as we go into holiday season. So here we have the Two of Pentacles. So we were on a Capricorn. Yes, we were on a Capricorn or Aquarius. Were we on Aquarius? I just totally lost track. No, it's Aquarius. So Aquarius is about balancing. So, this week, again, just do what you can and that's it. Don't go crazy with things because you have a lot on your plate as it is, and just trying to add more to it isn't going to help you out. So this week for you, Aquarius, really, really work on the balance. And again, self-care, I think, is a really good idea for you too. Because I just feel like there's so much going on, and then you're just starting to be like, all right, hold on. These plates are getting heavy. What am I going to do with them? Take a break. Take a break. All right, so that brings us to our Pisces. So 7 of Swords. So, this week for you, Pisces, I think it's don't get lost in other people's words. Don't, try not to take everything too personally. I feel like that this week is for you, might have some challenges, might have some, disagreements going on, and, just try to take it and let it go. And I know that's hard for you, Pisces, but you can do it. Just try not to let these little things get to you, the little comments and all of those things, because they're just words, and most times people don't even know what they're saying. So it's really important just to kind of let them go. Try not to really hold on to it too much. So that is our Tarotscope for the week. Again, if anyone has questions, you can go ahead and write it in caps, and I will answer it for you. And I'm going to just move my deck over here. So this week too, the crystal that I picked for this week to kind of help guide us along is an amethyst. So this is an amethyst, one of my amethysts that I have. I do have a lot of them, and it's so sparkly. Yay. So, and this one's kind of cool too because it has some really cool like cube formations on it. And I don't know if my camera will focus on them. Nah. But anyway, so amethyst. Amethyst is great for anything mental, anything emotional that is just hanging up in there. It's a great stone for addiction. It's great for kind of like anything that like overindulging in anything. So this is a really, this one kind of popped out at me today too. Like, oh, let's, why don't we talk about you today? So this one is, even if you wear this color, even wearing something purple too, to kind of remind yourself to just take it easy and everything's fine. And it just kind of helps. This crystal is really good, just kind of keeping your mind clear so that you can make decisions that you need to make, or just do what you have to do, just every day. So this is amethyst. Hello. All right. I'm going to put it over here. And this is a her, by the way. She did tell me that. Okay. So let's move into, actually, I'm going to take a drink first. I know it is pretty. I mean, they're all pretty though. I mean, come on. Here's my little hedgehog mug. I was going to bring my hedgehog out today, Simon. He's being grumpy. Maybe he needs some amethyst. I think that's what he needs. So we left him alone because he's been grouchy. So, all right. So self-care for the signs. And I have notes because I don't want to forget anything. But we will start again with Aries. So Aries is a fire sign, right? So the challenge for Aries with self-care is kind of containing all your fiery gifts, because you have so many great ideas. You have, so many things that you want to do. So you kind of get lost in that sometimes, right? So the best thing for you to do, is really try to be mindful of that and not get so caught up in like all the everyday stuff that you forget to take care of yourself. and all your ideas and all of that stuff. So for you, self-care needs to be quick and easy. So, you know, for exercise, like using apps, using like, you know, if you're going to weight loss stuff or just health or just trying to keep track of what you're eating and stuff, apps are great for you because they're quick, put it in, done. That's super, you know, super important for you, even for your water and stuff, to kind of, and even have something that reminds you to drink and do those things because you're going, like, you have all these things that you need to do immediately. So that is something that's super important for you too. And you know, because of that energy, you also enjoy foods that have lots of flavor. So use that to your advantage, you know, and use spices and use, you know, if you like hot sauce or stuff like that, just to try to keep and, you know, kind of keep your energy up because that's really good for you. And then the next thing that, you know, Aries rules the skull, the head, the face, your sinuses. So it's all the stuff that's up here is that where Aries rules. And that makes you, you know, and that's, you know, you could be a little headstrong. And I'm an Aries moon. This is mostly for sun signs, but I am an Aries moon. So I do some of, you know, I'm writing about these things. I'm like, oh, I'm like calling myself out. So there's that. But for you, acupuncture is really good. Because you tend to hold that fiery energy in different spaces. And for you, it's mostly in your head and your neck. You might get headaches, that sort of thing. Exercise is super important for you to burn that off, to burn that, you know, even if you just go on the treadmill for 10 minutes, like just quick and easy. That's what really works for you. So some things for, you know, actually, and the color for you is green. Green is a really good color for you. That kind of just like is very soothing. And also bergamot is good. Oil is good for sleeping. That really helps to settle an Aries down. So things to try, you know, biking, aerial yoga, not just regular yoga. We have to like take it up a notch. Running, even doing like a punching bag or boxing or kickboxing because that's like popular. And of course, all within reason of the moment. Saffron is a really good spice to try also, and make sure your bedroom is super cozy. Like it's just relaxing. It's very calm, you know, like decorate with green, decorate with blues, lots of things that are just kind of calming, you know, and that'll help you, Aries, settle down a little bit, and it will help. So the next that brings us into Taurus. So Taurus is an earth sign, and their challenge is really just they can be like just too much. Like they want something, they love something, they're collecting. Good morning. I'm just going through some self-care for the Zodiac signs too. And I'm on Taurus. I just started. So, you know, a Taurus can really, they love to collect things. They love to have like things. So for them, it could be a challenge to kind of overindulge in that, you know? And they you could get stuck in habits, but sometimes they aren't always great habits. And since you really are into the routine of things and you like routine, sometimes it's hard to kind of break that. So that can be a challenge for a Taurus. So for them, that rules like the neck, the cerebellum, so the back of your head there, and your ears. So paying attention to those areas are, I got a phone call and it like did some weird thing. Yeah, I know. It's like, yes, Taurus. They're that earth, you know, they're that bull sitting in there like, I want to do it this way and I love it. And, you know, for the most part, that's fantastic, but you can, you know, you need that balance too, right? So Tauruses tend to hold a lot of tension in their shoulders, in their neck, again, headaches and that kind of thing. So for them, like doing shoulder rolls throughout the day, rolling your neck, that sort of thing really helps too. And working on your throat chakra, your throat chakra, you know, because it's all in that area too, you know. And that because sometimes they get so stubborn, or they get so, I don't want to say stubborn, I mean that in the most loving way possible. They get so stuck on how they want things to go and what they can't express it. So that's that throat chakra, right? really for them to is any temperature changes. So putting a nice cozy scarf on, like an ear muff, not ear muffs, but ear muffs are really cute. Like a hat or anything like that, just kind of like sudden changes for their neck and their ears can really throw them off balance. So that's something to really pay attention to. And again, they love their routines and that sort of thing. So, and you also don't want to do anything that will overstimulate your senses as a Taurus. It's too much. And then they're like, okay, I can't handle any of this. I'm just going to hunker down and I'm done, right? So things that you can try to, hi, hello. Things that you can actually try to is our emeralds and rose quartz are really good. So again, we got that green for the throat chakra. Colors are yellow, pink, and then green too. And jasmine is a really calming oil for Tauruses. So again, the fancy scarf, something around their neck. And that, it's something too, that if you're feeling some sort of way or you feel like you can't express yourself, do that. Like get a nice fancy scarf or a, either it's like, it doesn't need to be anything. And, there's so many different scarves. And that can help kind of cover that, and it will kind of comfort your throat so that you can speak what you want. You want to say what you want to say. Also find something to collect, but be mindful of it, and really treasure those little things that you're collecting. So say you collect crystals, right? Have a little set space somewhere in your house. This is my crystals and this is my collection. When the space runs out, the collection is done, right? Which we could try. All right, crystals was a bad example. Because that wouldn't even work for me, and I'm not a Taurus. How about we say low glass figures? We'll go there. So, nodding, moving this area, it's really important. Nodding, because that helps to move that throat chakra and with the communication and stuff like that. Again, getting outside. Okay, bye. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, catch the replay. So going outside, getting into nature, because again, that earth energy, some affirmations, regarding communication, I think are good. Getting outside, even starting a garden, that sort of thing. Some nice silk PJs, because that's just that nice, calming, and silk PJs are awesome. So, and then again, just really being mindful of talking about your feelings and really working on that. So it's just that communication and knowing that you have somebody that you could be like, listen, I'm having trouble getting out what I have to say, or I'm frustrated about this. And that you can just kind of tell them and they don't mind, they'll just listen, and I think that's important. Like sometimes Taurus just needs a listener. Like they don't want your opinion on it. They don't care about any of that. They just want to get it out, and they really need to. And that helps a lot. So any Tauruses in your life, that's also good to know. So that brings us to Gemini. So Gemini is an air sign, and that, it's symbolized with the twins, the duality there. Like I said, my husband is actually a Gemini moon, sun, and Mercury. Lots of things going on there. So, as that symbol, the Geminis, they're just restless. They're very restless energy. You're welcome. Very restless energy, because they do have that duality. So they have all these thoughts going on. They have all these things happening, and they are trying to kind of channel it, and so they're very cerebral, they're in their heads all the time, trying to make plans, trying to figure things out. And by doing that, they do neglect their physical body sometimes. Because they're just so stuck up in the ideas and the thoughts, right? So that is something to really, that's their challenge, is that they get so caught up in their head, they tend to neglect their bodies, their physical bodies. So for them, again, being such thinkers, when you go to self-care and stuff like that for them, you want to make it a learning experience. So they have to feel like they're learning something. And that's how they will best do self-care, right? So they are ruled by the lungs, the hands, and the shoulders, which I always think is pretty cool because it's two things. You got two hands, you got shoulders, lungs, two lungs, and it's the duality there. Meditation is really good, but not like the calm, quiet meditation, more like a walking meditation, more like maybe some chants. Again, they have to be doing something in like cerebral. They need to move that, or like the body doesn't move kind of thing. So that's super important too. For them, it's a lot of tension in their shoulders. So the shrugging shoulders, moving them around is really important, and keeping that mental stimulation for them is so important with pretty much all activities, but for self-care and for them too, like rotating different self-care activities constantly is super important for them too. Peppermint and jasmine are really good for them too. All right, let's take a break. Before I get into that, let me answer your question. Actually, I'm going to finish this and then I'll answer your question because I just want to do the things to try here. I'll grab my cards so I can start shuffling. So things to try. For them, it's a variety. Just keeping lots of variety. So different colors, different exercises, different deep breathing. Because again, you can kind of do that on the go. Another thing too is, because they love to learn and stuff like that. Anything historical usually is really interesting for them and really kind of keeps them going. So sitting down, reading a book or watching a documentary and stuff like that is great self-care for a Gemini. Their bedroom, you want to kind of keep it nice and airy, no clutter. Again, they just like things simple and, maybe have some books in there or pictures that are just like phrases and that sort of thing, or book quotes are really good. Writing, yoga, but like challenging yoga, like hot yoga or something is really good. Anything for them, orange is really helpful. It really helps to calm them too. And that goes as far as like fruits and vegetables, colors, and that sort of thing. Eucalyptus is really nice too, because again, that's the lung part of thing, the breathing. So putting some eucalyptus in the shower, that's really nice too. So that's what we have for Gemini. And let's pull this card for Becky. What one thing can I do to feel more comfortable with myself in the upcoming week? Oh, that's a nice question. I like that. You worded that wonderfully. All right, let's see, Becky. What do we got? We have the Ace of Wands. So I think for you, focusing on the newness of the situation, right? And just knowing that things may be a little bit different, and that's okay. Like just being okay with what's going on and just kind of rolling with it and try not to overthink things, try not to see the hidden meaning in anything, just kind of roll with it. So I think for you, Becky, I think that's what it is. I think there's definitely some new stuff going on. And I think for you, just going and just taking it one thing at a time. I think that's really good for you this week, for sure. All right, let's see. Let's get my hedgehog mug back over here. All right, so what's next? We are up to Cancer. So Cancer is, again, this a water energy. And water, kind of like in tarot, water is like emotion. So usually you can really relate all the signs to tarot cards as well. That may be another week discussion. But for them, their challenge is really their sensitivity. And they are very sensitive to the environment and what's around them, especially the moon. If you are a Cancer, working with the moon is your major self-care thing to do, because you just flow right with it. And if you haven't done moon tracking before or anything like that, I would definitely try it out, because I think it will really kind of help you move through the moon cycles of the months really, really well. So, because you're so fluid and your moods are kind of fluid, being consistent can be a challenge for you, but it's super important for you as well. And keeping, keeping that in the front of your mind is super important for self-care. Because, there may be one day that you want to do all the things and the next day you don't want to do all the things. So knowing that, accepting that, and kind of having, your plan of things, your self-care things when you're go, 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 and then your self-care things when you're not. So that is really, really, really important. A lot of, and this, and with this is, as far as the Cancer and the moon, that also goes, depends on what other things are in your chart, because you have all these other things going on. But so this is just kind of generally speaking, I guess. Some Cancers are super, the new moon comes up and they are like raring to go. They love it. And then the full moon comes and they're like, all right, I'm going to bed. I'm done here. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. And grounding is super, super important for you. They are ruled by the stomach and the breasts. So those are the two things that they are ruled by. And a lot of times, it's good for, make sure you're getting your checkups and, probiotics and stuff like that, like just kind of taking your belly. That's super important for Cancers to do. The phrase like trust your gut for you is so important, because that's what you need to do. Like because your sign is ruled by your stomach too. So it's telling you, and that's something you need to just trusting your intuition is also a part of self-care as well. And really for you to just a balanced diet, lots of, the water is important, and just trying to keep things low key, like especially meal times for you a low key meal time is important as well. And a stone for you is a pearl, actually, because again, it's more that water, it's kind of like a water energy. The moon, a lot of things symbolize pearl, moon, or even a moonstone is actually great. Or selenite, because again, that's another one that's connected to the moon. See where I'm going here with this? So for you, affirmations are super important, especially on the days that you're just moving a little slow. Grounding, and being sure to make yourself a priority, because you tend to like worry about everyone else and what they're doing, how they're feeling. And it's important for you to worry about you too. And even if you have to put that in your phone as a reminder every day, like do something for myself, then that's what you have to do. Cuddling is good for you. Just getting, with a person, with a pet, with your favorite stuffed animal, doesn't matter. Just cuddling is really good for you. Free writing or drawing before bed is important, because that helps to kind of get all the clutter out of your head so that you can sleep. And not have things kind of floating around. Asking for help when you need it, which is hard, but it's something that will really also help. And that's a big, big self-care thing right there. And Epsom salt baths. Again, just clearing the energy, and it's calming for you. So that's something, those are some self-care things for the, for a Cancer. So again, if you guys have questions too, if you want me to pull a card for you, feel free to just go ahead and, just write your question in all caps so that I'm sure I can see it as it's floating by. And I need a drink of water now. I like, it's like this thing just keeps changing. I don't know, I'm amazed by it. All right, let's see. Hi, everybody. We're just going through some like self-care stuff for the different zodiac signs. So I am up to Leo, and Leo is another fire sign. So they are, Leo's symbolized by the lion. So they are that big energy, and they just want to take care of all the things, do all the things, be all the things, all the things. Got it? So that's something too, is they just feel very heavy responsibility to make sure everything's okay, everyone's okay. And again, in that, they don't keep track of themselves because they're so busy keeping track of everybody else, right? So, that keeps them from taking, because they want to take care of themselves, but they're like, wait, this one needs this one needs that. I'm going to just put myself aside and do all this for everybody else. I need everyone else to be okay before I'm okay. But that's obviously the challenge, right? So, you know, and also too, they can also be another energy that can overindulge, you know, because they're just big into everything, like going out. I'm going to go out so I be around the people and I'm like, here I am. And if you do that too much though, it's not always great, you know. So they rule the heart and the spine. So two really, again, it's at that big energy. So the spine, the heart, like that's some big stuff right there. And you know, they have a big heart. That's the thing when it comes down to it. They have such a big heart that they just want the best for everyone. And, you know, for them, really treating that energy, that big flowing energy is really, you know, was that I have a Leo moon and rising, so these apply. Yeah, I mean that could be for both because the sun sign is what you want everybody to see, like how you want people to see you, or you know, like the sun shining on you, so that's what you want people to see. But then the moon is your emotions, or the things that people don't always see. So those could definitely, I mean, especially when you're both. Like my husband is Gemini moon and sun, so he's definitely in the thick of it, you know. So yeah, I mean, and again, it also depends really what else is in your chart, but for the most part, you know, take what resonates, and if it doesn't, then you can just leave it. That's totally fine. So hard spine. So self-care activities for you is just yoga is great. Tai Chi is really, really good for a Leo for sure. Massage, just again to like just kind of distribute the energy and move it around, and good for circulation because it's for your heart. So it's that moving that circulation that's super important for you. And doing yoga, doing Tai Chi, massage, that's all great for circulation, and that's something that's really important for you. Keeping your heart healthy, getting your checkups, you know, eating heart healthy foods is really a good self-care thing too. And when doing any sort of self-care, it kind of needs to be like a reward-based system in a way, you know, like, oh, I worked out today. Like that, what would be good for them too is like, you know, some of the apps, the exercise apps, like you put in that you worked out today and you get like a little, I don't know, a sticker or a little thing happens. Like, and I know there's a couple of them like that. So something like that, something with some sort of reward at the end of it, that's what will help your self-care really going as far as even like exercise or drinking water. I have an app that's like called Plant Thirsty or something. And every time you log that you drank water, your little plant grows. So something like that would be super, super fun. And it's a really cute app. So for you, some, you know, rosemary is a really good oil to use for you. That's really helpful. And zircon crystal, which I think I have one, but I don't have it right here with me. So things for you to try: yoga, decorating, but with bright colors, like peacock feathers or something like really like bright and like kind of like big, you know, because you like the big energy stuff, like stuff that like a little picture on the wall isn't going to do for you. If you have this like big spread of something on the wall, you're like, yes, this is for me. You know, and then in your room, like making it like glamorous, you know, almost like put a chandelier in your bathroom, you know, get some really like drapes on your bed and gold and rich colors. Like that's something that really is good for you. And, you know, maybe splurging on your hair or something like that, like getting something done, you know, the massage, that kind of thing. And then staying busy during the winter months is really important for you too. Like just really trying to find some hobby that is good for you. Again, dancing, that sort of thing, that moving around. And then, you know, it's hard right now with other, you know, not being around other people, but even if you do like a Zoom thing, like just like stuff like that is super important. And turmeric is a good spice for you to try. And make Sunday your self-care day, because that's the Leo day is Sunday. So make it a thing. Sunday is my self-care day, and this is what I'm going to do on these days, right? Finding other Leos too to bounce ideas off of and chit chat with, super, like that's awesome too. And for those couple of you that joined, go ahead. If you have a question, just put it in caps and I could pull a card for you. And I was just going through the self-care for the sun signs. and there's the zodiac signs rather. So we're to Virgo, and I always laugh because I always tease Virgos, but I love Virgos. I do, always. Yes, definitely. You know, the challenge, Virgo's an earth sign. And actually my first son is a Virgo. He's the most Virgo there is. I always tease him about it. So the challenges with the Virgo is they can be sensitive. They can be very sensitive. They also can just kind of get over concerned about things that they don't need to be over concerned about, especially if it's not going according to plan. So that's something too, you know, and health issues even. So if you are somebody that, you know, you wake up, you have a headache for a couple days and you're like, okay, this is freaking me out. You know, take the time and go to the doctor. It won't hurt. It's fine. Or see what you could do to change that. Maybe you need to drink water. Maybe you need to do some things, but try to be more practical about it and not so like, oh my gosh, what's happening and that sort of thing, you know? So I think that's really what it comes down to is bringing you from the sensitive and the over emotional into the practical and really be like, okay, it's all right. You got this. Let's see, you know, let's use some different things or try some different things to make you feel better or whatever. So that's super important. So Virgo rules over the intestines. Oh, you're welcome, Amber. So Virgo rules in the intestines. So that could be a picky eater, or you might have some food sensitivities and stuff like that. So that's something that you need to keep in mind as well, you know, and just try to take care of, you know, eat good foods and stuff like that. That's really good for you. And you're not super a fan of competition. So don't put yourself in that type of situation. You know, that's something important too, because it's just too much for you. And then again, that emotion comes in and you kind of lose the practicality of it. And that's not fun, right? It's just not fun. So, you know, you're so giving and you know that self-care is important. You can give everyone advice on self-care, but you're not doing it yourself. So that's something to pay attention to. And if it doesn't go as planned, that's okay. You know, so if you decide to do an exercise program and you do it for 3 days, but then one day you don't, you're like, oh, forget it. I'm done here, right? Have an accountability partner. Have somebody be like, you're fine. Just let's keep going. That's really good for you too. Pink jasper is a great stone for you, and lavender. Lavender is good for all the things, really. Things to try is some breath work, recording your self-care. Get your little pen and get a pen and paper out and do that. And then also organizing stuff that makes you happy. Organizing makes you happy. So that's always a good go-to. And remember, you know, have a couple of little toys around. Have something that reminds you of being a kid that helps you to remember to be playful, you know, and not be serious about things and to be playful. Crafts are great. Peppermint tea, because that's great for intestines. And, you know, spending time with animals. If you're a cat person, that's the way to go. Make a gratitude list, especially if you're feeling down that day. Making a gratitude list is really important. Letting go of things, like a visualization about letting go of things that no longer serve you, and cooking for others, because that's something really interesting for you too. So I am, you know, like I said, if there's anyone that has any questions or anything like that, this is kind of a long one. You know, I was writing this out yesterday and I was like, oh boy, there's a lot here. So if you have to catch a replay, that's good, but I do appreciate you hanging out with me. So next we have Libra. So that's, you know, again, that's me, air sign. So their challenge is they tend to see themselves through other people, and they tend to see like their relationships and stuff like that. They kind of base it on what other people think sometimes. And that's something that can be super challenging, because if you think that somebody's looking at you in a certain way or in a certain light and like, oh, well, she needs self-care, you're like, oh, excuse me, what? You know, you can kind of get insulted, you know, pretty easily. So that's something that, you know, the balance of it is, again, they're the scales, you need that balance. And that's keeping that balance can be the challenge too. So they ruled by the kidneys. So drinking water, super, super important. And why I have the little plant growing up, because I try to drink my water. Keeping your lower back warm, just your kidneys. If that part of you gets cold, that can be really just like uncomfortable. That could just throw your energy off, super easy. For some Libras, I'm saying some Libras because I don't want to be called out here, is vanity is a motivating factor. So if you exercise, you're going to feel better or you're going to look better. If you do this, if you're getting facials, then your skin will be better. So for Libras, that's like a really motivating factor too. So that can kind of help them really practice self-care and, again, get an accountability person. Be like, oh, you're doing great. Keep going. So that's super important too. And it's sleep, because again, that balance, the, awake, asleep, they need that balance. And if you aren't sleeping well, that can throw a Libra right the heck off. So that's really important too. And, a Libra will sacrifice their self-care to help someone else. Like they want to help other people, but they go all in to help other people. And so much so that, you're like the yes person, learn how to say no, like, oh, you want me to, do a 20-page report for you by tomorrow? Absolutely, I can do it. And meanwhile, you're up all night, your sleep is off, you're all out of whack, not self-care. So that's, it's okay to say no sometimes, but, and that kind of goes with everybody too. So, opal is a really good, crystal, and ametrine too as well. And I did have ametrine over here somewhere. So, complimenting others is a really good thing to try for self-care. And it's just like, instead of waiting for compliments, compliment others. That's really good for you too. Again, the fancy decor, like those Leos, we like fancy stuff. So that is always good. Baths, elaborate baths, Epsom salts and oils and flowers and all of that. That is great for you too. Almonds are a really good energy type food for you. So that's something to try if you don't, or, of course, unless you're allergic, don't do that. Buying some silk pajamas. There I am with silk pajamas again. Can you tell I like them? Journaling before bed, getting all the junk out of your head before you go to sleep so you can have a restful sleep. That's big self-care. A lot of Libras are kind of leaders, and also sometimes you need to accept that you are going to be leading things, and some people resist, but accepting that and just kind of taking baby steps towards that is really good too. Getting outside, grounding, just laying down on the grass or on the beach, on the sand. That's kind of where I want to be right now. Wearing pastel colors, because that's that balance between the light and the dark. That's a super good thing. Balanced spending. It just, when you balance things out as a Libra, it really does help too. And just making a playlist that is all about, uplifting, fun music, that's something that you can do. So that brings us into Scorpio. So Scorpio is another water sign. And their challenges are they don't like to take advice from others. Like they feel that they know what they need when they need it. And that's the challenge too, because if you think of that, their sign is a Scorpion, right? So they can sting themselves because they're like, no, I don't need your help. I got this. Don't tell me what to do, right? So that's super important for them too, to don't get insulted if somebody's like, hey, you know what? Maybe you need to take some time to yourself and practice some self-care. Like, instead of getting totally insulted about it, take a minute and pause. Like, Like, I want Scorpios to just pause and think about it and see what's important and see how maybe, all right, that's not so bad, right? And they rule actually the reproductive organs and the elimination organs. Not super fun, but it is a thing, So that is all root and sacral chakra. So working on that root and sacral chakra pretty consistently is super important. Like, the root chakra is it's great, and it's a jerk all in one, because that's the one that brings up all the insecurity and all of the, wait, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Wait, so root chakra work is super important for Scorpios. Super, super important. They need to know that taking care of themselves doesn't mean that they're lacking anyway. That doesn't mean that they're not doing something right. They have to take care of themselves because they have to take care of themselves, So it's really just kind of like a frame of thought and how they're thinking about it, but on the other hand, they can also confuse self-care with pleasure, doing pleasurable things that may not be the greatest for you. So there's that that balance. Like going out every night partying isn't self-care. Yeah, it's fun, and you're like, yeah, I'm taking care of myself, I'm getting out and hanging out with my friends, but for your physical body, that's not particularly the best thing for you. So there's another extreme even to that too, is that they could get so over concerned about self-care that they are not given one thing. This is my routine every day. I'm doing this every day. Nobody's going to disturb it, and that sort of thing. So that's something too that's pretty interesting. The Scorpios, journaling is really important. Just getting all of that. You just have so much going on and so many ideas of how things are, but it's not necessarily always what it is. So you're not stinging yourself constantly. So stop stinging yourself, Scorpios. So for those couple of people that joined, I'm just going through some self-care for the zodiac signs. And if you do want a card pulled, go ahead and pop it in the chat there and just put it in all caps so I can see it. Okay. So right now we're talking about things for Scorpios to try for self-care. So crystals that are good are tiger's eye, black tourmaline. Again, it's crystals that are just that help to absorb, those thoughts that aren't serving you, really, because they tend to creep in. Sometimes just being by yourself, just kind of getting away from everybody and just taking time for yourself, whether it be sitting in a car for 10 minutes, just listening to the radio or something, that's really good too. That's a good thing to try. Water aerobics, again, any water stuff is good for you. So the baths, Epsom salt baths, wearing black is good too. Again, it's just for that energy exchange type of thing, letting it out and keeping it in and whatever you need to do. That will kind of help balance it out too. For you, activity like a hula hooping, any sort of independent things, even just getting in a pool and swimming, independent physical activities are really good for you. And being mindful of sarcastic remarks. So that can be something that, somebody says something and you just right off the bat say something snarky, right? Try to be mindful of it and try to, again, that's all harnessing your energy. And I think that's super important to try to do. And again, balancing that root chakra too. And just being aware of your immediate responses when people talk to you. So, instead of just coming out with something like, no, I don't have to do that, or no, it's fine, or I don't have to, pause. Again, that pause. So that's what I have for you, Scorpios. Next, we are moving on to Sagittarius. So that's a fire sign, and are in where we're right now. So we just moved right into Sagittarius season. So challenges for a Sagittarius are they need things to be quick and easy. So because they're always go, 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 right? And there's things that they need to do they don't even know they need to do yet. So it's time for you to find things that are quick and easy, or you could do on the go. So if they can't do it on the go, if it takes time where they have to sit down and really think and look, and they're not going to do it, So self-care stuff for them needs to be super fun, super quick stuff that they can do. And that Sagittarius rules the hips and thighs. So stretching is super important. You can be prone to sciatica, so walking is a great exercise. Kind of helps the go-go energy as well. you know, and because you're so busy and you're that busy energy that you kind of procrastinate things, right? And you may be like, I'm going to start exercising, but I think I might wait and do it next week. I got so much to do right now. I'm not going to exercise. I'm going to put it off. We'll do it tomorrow. So really harnessing that procrastination and then finding again, and find someone that's going to be like, hey, we were supposed to do this every day and you're not doing it. And again, making it easy and quick and something they can do. They can be like, I'm not home, I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can, because this is what we decided to do and you can do it anywhere. So that's something to think about. For you, getting up, moving around, even if you have a desk job, is something that you need to definitely pay attention to, and try not to make yourself sit if you don't want to, because that whacks out your energy and that's not good too. Humor is, super fun for you. It's important. It helps your energy flow and it just keeps things moving. And that's something for you too, that you should definitely keep things entertaining. So jasmine is a real good oil, and clove oil actually. And things for you to try for self-care that would be good would be Pilates. And that's something you can do anywhere. There's apps. Learning a new language, doing projects, but doing short projects. The key for you is to do quick things. So you don't want to start this huge project because you're not going to finish it. The procrastination is going to set in. I don't have time to do that because I got to do all these other things. That can set in too. So, amethyst, and that was our stone our crystal of the week here is the amethyst. That's really good for you too, because it helps that balance and mental clarity. Also, working on your spiritual side, because that's, such a big realm that will keep your interest always, travel when you can. If not, documentaries are great. The Travel Channel, right? Or even travel through food. Try different foods, like kind of foods around the world. That would be great for you as well. So moving on to Capricorn. And for anybody that just popped on, if you want me to pull a card for you, we can certainly do that. At the beginning of the live, I did a Tarotscope for the week. So you can always go and catch that in the beginning too. So Capricorn, we have the challenges for a Capricorn it's like they know what they have to do, but they just don't do it. Like they don't get there and they don't take the steps to do what they have to do, even though they know what it is, right? So that is a big challenge for Capricorns. They rule the bones. That rules the bones, Capricorn. So nutrition super important. Calcium for you. Dental checkups. Your knees. Being sure you're keep moving for that. Good morning. Hello. I'm just going through self-care for the Zodiac signs. And if you have a question or anything, just put it in caps for me and I'll go ahead and answer it. I'm up to Capricorn, so that is something that we got a couple more to go. So yeah, so the challenges for Capricorn, that they need to avoid, like, heavy impact sports isn't really good for them because of that, or building up to it, or really making sure to train well for them. And they tend to get over involved with work, like work, that they neglect their physical body or anything else going on. So keeping things super light, like just trying to keep it light, is really important. It's going well, Hummingbird Tarot. How are you? It is good. It is good. Another thing for them is that they're super loyal. So they may not think about themselves or what they need because they're so concerned about everyone else and keeping everyone else happy and making sure everyone's okay all the time. They aren't doing stuff for themselves, and they get so involved in it that they neglect that self-care. So hello. I am going through just some self-care stuff for the different signs. I did a Tarotscope at the beginning, and if you have a question or anything and you want to pull a card, go ahead and put it in all caps, and I will pull a card for you. So a good crystal for them, for Capricorn, is the black hematite, turquoise, pine, tea tree oils are super great as well. For Capricorns, being around family is really kind of soothes, balances their energy. So, I mean, at this point, like Zoom, even just being around family makes you, when you're feeling out of sorts, that does really help. Really good footwear, really good sneakers. That's kind of a self-care splurge you can do too. Having a blackboard in your house, just so you can write things on it, or write a little phrase every day to remember to like keep that playful energy about you, or a mantra or something like that. Also working on something like a family tree, because that helps you feel connected, because you really like to feel connected to your family. A deep tissue massage, that is good, because that will help to kind of really move energy and keep you, keep things flowing for you so you don't get stuck, because you can get stuck in things, and that's really helpful too. Also, when you are worrying about stuff like that, just breathing it out. Just every time, if something's bothering you, breathe it out. You need to like get that out so it doesn't, again, get stuck. And that brings us to Aquarius. We're almost to the end. Aquarius is an air sign, and the challenges for Aquarius for self-care is that they're either about it or they're not. And it switches. When they're not about it, they don't want to hear it. They can't be bothered. But when they are, they're going 110%. So, it's again, finding that balance and finding self-care things to do when you're not feeling on about it. Like when you're just like, I can't be bothered with that, but what can you do? So it's really kind of picking apart, so those days that you want to go run on the treadmill and do your things. But then the other days, if you're just like, I don't want to do any of this, then make sure to take a bath, or just do something sitting somewhere quietly for a few minutes, or reading a couple pages of book. That can be really helpful too. So, by doing that, you're kind of establishing a rhythm for yourself, and that will really help your energy flow a lot better as well. So Aquarius is ruled by circulation, so calves, ankles as well. So that's something, again, yoga is super important, would be a great self-care thing for you to do. Sometimes you can have trouble with insomnia, trouble sleeping. So again, doing some sort of meditation, even if it's a walking meditation, or just journaling before bed, like getting all that out of your head, and just making sure to give yourself good self-care before you go to sleep is really important. And they say that Aquarians don't need as much sleep as others, which I always find very interesting. So if you're an Aquarius, is that true? Do you not need a lot of sleep? Because I feel like I have to make a survey question about this. I'm very curious about it now. Acupuncture is great. Cardio, some light cardio is good self-care for you too. And because, you're such a big thinker and feeler, you can kind of get lost again in that cerebral space, and you're up there floating around thinking about things. How does this work? Why does this work? You tend to get kind of lost up there. So grounding is super important for you. Like grounding should be a daily thing for you for sure. And because you're such a big thinker, you may not always express your emotions, right? And just being aware of that. And even though you appreciate others and their emotions and how they feel about things, it may be hard for you to express that. So I think being mindful of that is super important for you too. And you kind of do what you want, when you want, how you want to. So, I think, again, just being mindful, because there's probably no change in your mind about stuff, but being mindful of it will really help balance the energy, because it will actually help you being around other people, knowing that, like, I'm not going to probably, I'm going to the movies with people, but I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to cry about this movie, even though they are. That's okay. You don't have to. So just think about that. Lapis lazuli is, I don't know if I said it right, but yeah, it sounded weird. Blue sapphire is good. Frankincense oil is really good for you, because it's that nice grounding oil. Good things for you to try for self-care is try some exotic foods. Kind of embrace your inner unicorn. And I'm a big unicorn person, so just the fantasy part of things. Like really find some fantastical creature that you like, and really like have it somewhere so you can see it to remember that, glittery things, glittery eyeshadow, or just maybe a phone case or stuff like that. That's really good for you to try listening to some electronic type music and see what you think about it. And really, you know what, because you may not be able to express that emotion as easy as others, make a gratitude list, at least, or tell people, I appreciate you, like, you're all right, you don't have to be gushy about it, but just expressing the gratitude is really good, really helps you as well. Curry powder is a good spice to try for Aquariuses, and blue hydrangeas. That's it's really like a calming effect for you. Just the plant and just having the color of it as well. So that's something to try. And we move into Pisces. We actually are coming to the end. And for those who have stuck with me, you're fantastic. Thank you so much. And if you want a card, let me know. So anyway, let's move on to Pisces, our water sign. So Pisces challenges is they can get overwhelmed. There's a lot of muchness out there, and it's just could be a lot sometimes. So for them, just getting overwhelmed with things, and you ride on the you just can feel emotions of others so much that sometimes it can be just overwhelming, and that can also sway your opinion on things that you want to do, because you're like, oh, so and so, they probably don't think I should do that. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should. So that's the challenge right there too. All right, having a blast. Do you have a question, or you want just like a general card? Because I can do that. Let me know. And they can overindulge for sure. If you have a question, having a blast, I can answer it, or I could just pull just like a general card for you. So let me know. They can overindulge because they get so involved in the emotion of everything that it's easy for them to do that. Type of tea for a Taurus. I think I wrote that down. Let me look. Taurus. See, Taurus is earthy energy. So I would say any type of tea that is like earthy. That really, I'm just looking here. Like even like, the thing that comes in my head is like an Indian tea, like a Thai tea, like just something like a very earthy tea. I think that would be really a good one for you, for sure. So for Pisces, they are ruled by the feet, so staying grounded, again, that grounding, they need to stay grounded is so important for them. Comfy shoes, reflexology, foot rubs, all of that sort of thing. That's super important, for them. And really too, that they need to be able to express their feelings. Like somebody, even if they have a person that really is good to like listen, again, just so that they can express those feelings for sure. And they could be forgetful too, so reminders are super important. They're really good too. Phone reminders is great because they tend to kind of get lost. How can I approach getting out of my comfort zone? Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, we'll pause the Pisces here for a minute and let's see. All right, having a blast. Here is the 10 of Cups. So Cups is all about emotion. For you, I think it's about not worrying about the outcome so much. I think that you're focusing so much on the outcome that it's holding you back. It's keeping you from going to the next level and doing that next thing that may not be comfortable. So it's one of those, like, just do it. It's time to just do it. Don't worry about the end result right now. Just jump into it. I think that's what that 10 of Cups is telling you. Okay. So next we have here the, again, it's getting lost in the emotions with the Pisces too. That's super important, and really just trying to be mindful of that. And things they can try that are great self-care things are pedicures, opening the third eye. I'm going to my throat. No problem. Thanks. Third eye. That's your third eye. Not that. That's your throat. Opening your third eye and really kind of harnessing that and learning to kind of bring in the emotion and to balance it is really important for you. So putting your feet up and just taking a couple of minutes just to be and not really worry about anything else that's going on. Sea glass, anything sea related, mermaids, that is something like decorate with some mermaids around is really good. A spice for you to try, star anise, which could be really interesting. I think there's even tea that you can use for that too. Getting out in the boat, getting out in water. Silk sheets are really great. Making sure your bed, even making your bed kind of like a flowy, like just very light and flowy is really good. And then really making yourself like a self-care day just at home. Like give yourself a pedicure, give yourself, a mask, do a mask and take a hot bath, have some mermaids around, watch The Little Mermaid. That's always great. So I think that's really good too. And have a lot of pillows on your bed. Just again, like the sea, make it green and blue, make it like silky and just really comforting. And I think that sounds nice, actually. I want a mermaid bed. So that is all of the zodiac signs and all the self-care things you can try with them. And I so appreciate everybody hanging out with me. This was a long one. So next week, I haven't really decided exactly what we're going to talk about. I think we're going to talk about chakras a little bit. So, before I go, if you have a quick question, let me know. I'm here every Monday on the Cartomancer Instagram at 9 Pacific, 12 noon. And my page is Stardust Wanderer Tarot. And my name is Jen Sankey. I will be in the December. You're very welcome. Thank you. I have a article in the December issue of the Cartomancer magazine called Tarot Touchstones, which has to do with crystal tarot readings. It's just kind of one of those things I do. So go ahead and go over. You can go give me a like over on my Facebook page or right here on Instagram. And also, too, be sure to sign up for my Kickstarter mailing list because I am creating a deck and we're getting there. We're just starting to slowly prepare all the Kickstarter stuff. The art is in process and it's so awesome. Let's see. How can I best get over disappointment about no holiday gatherings? All right, well, I just had a jumper, so let's see what that one is. Sorry. Woo! We always pay attention to the jumpers, Just Jenny. Always. So this is interesting. So we got the Seven of Cups. So it's about choices, So you need to decide how you're going to feel about it and making the best of it. And I think that's really what it is. Even though you can't have your holiday gatherings, there are still other things that you can do. So I think that's really something to think about. And I kind of think that's kind of good for everyone to think about that, right? Even though we can't do it the way we usually do, what are the benefits, I don't want to say benefits, but what are the good things that can happen? What other things? Maybe this is the time to start some new tradition, right? Yes, I'm so excited about it. Oh, it's so good. A hint, there's space in it. Just saying. This is a galaxy. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to start to be able to share it. So if you need to get on my Kickstarter list so that you will see when I start doing some sneak peeks and all that. All right, guys. Thank you very, 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 very so much. And I appreciate you hanging out this long with me and going through the spiel. And don't forget to sprinkle some stardust wherever you go. All right. Bye.